All right, everybody. I just have to check something on my end, but we should kind of like be good to go live here. We're going long form and we're going vertical on these streets of YouTube. So we got some topics for the show today. A Minecraft movie is doing pretty well, which is a big surprise, especially after Hollywood has had a lackluster opening this year. We got some talk about the Zelda carts for the Switch 2, not including the expansion pass, but you're going to pay more money. So everybody's happy about that. People are really excited about tariffs on these Nintendo carts, let me tell you. Um, and then Last of Us came out with a remaster and a remaster and a remaster of a complete set that includes, I think, uh, comics as well. Man, and then whatever else we get into, we're just going to get into. But Paul and I had some great interviews. We're going to talk about those too. But let me go ahead and introduce the infamous, the one, the only, the pineapple paparazzi Paul.
Stop it. I swear to
Yes,
God, I'm going to get that
yes,
word outlawed. Yeah.
yes. That's gonna be your wrestling name one day, man.
Yeah, right. I'm too old for that. Anyway, hey everybody, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, just been kind of trying to keep myself busy all week so far and doing all right. I need to see some new movies, so I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of movies out there. Speaking of movies, Paul, you know, there's one that you're really excited for.
What, the Minecraft movie?
Yes. Paul, tell
I you know what? It is one of those that it looks like fun, but it's not one that I would jump in. Oh, I don't jump anywhere that I would get in the car for and go see. But apparently, last weekend a lot of people did. Yeah, and it's a lot doing a lot better than if you would have been on these Twitter streets, man. It's doing a lot better than anybody said it would. We, what is it? The biggest video game movie opening ever.
Yeah, it beat the Super Mario Brothers movie from like what 2023, which is a shock because everybody was impressed with that one. But this a Minecraft movie. So right now, worldwide, it sits at $343 million. Domestically, 193 million. Foreign, 150 million. This set all kinds of records.
Yeah, and really, it's hard to believe because I mean, yeah, you knew the movie was coming, but it wasn't a big hype, big push. This is going to be an amazing movie. This is just like, this is Jack Black and I forget who the other big name is.
Jason
You know,
Momoa, I think.
Jason Momoa. Yeah, and okay, fine. I mean, it would have. Yeah, I always thought it would find its place, but I didn't think it would do this. You know, I don't
I
think anybody did. I don't even think they did.
No, no. And let's not forget the first trailer for this movie when they first showed it a while ago, what, 6 months ago. It didn't catch anybody's interest. It kind of like fizzled out, right? And then in the movie theaters, they had a new trailer that was very enticing and made it look very exciting. And I guess it must have worked because now all kinds of unfortunate trends are going on in the movie theater, Paul. I don't know if you heard about this. Have you heard about the trends going on in the movie theater?
That the movie theaters have to tell them, just watch the movie, be quiet, don't be doing the TikTok crap.
Yes, kids have turned this thing into a TikTok challenge of throwing candy, popcorn, screaming, filming the chicken jockey scene. Which, by the way, Paul, I will recommend that we should cosplay as one year. You could be
I
the
don't know. You could be the chicken. I'll be the jockey. Okay.
no, 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 no. We
'Cause-
could ride into the conventions and we could go in style. You know,
yeah.
we can have our own fans.
So basically, this is this generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show,
That's what
where where we
some.
would throw in rice and toast and spraying water all over each other, and at least we assumed it was water. We won't go there.
Wow. Hey, at least back then the cops didn't come in, right? Like you guys got away with that.
Yeah, not most of the time.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, yeah, no,
because the theaters expected it, you know, they Frank went, a toast, and all of a sudden toast goes flying all over the theater. The wedding scene, people were throwing rice at each other. By the way, the rice became a no-no as later on, they decided rice is a bad thing.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, that's so interactive theater, and so
and rumors have it, according to some press sites, that a sequel's already in talks because of how well this did.
oh geez, of course it is. They smell money and they think, well, it happened good once, it'll happen good. No, no, no. See, they need to not do that because I think they this time they caught lightning in a bottle. They got basically they caught it at a special time. I don't think it'll repeat. And anybody who does it's probably going to want a lot of money. Well, look how much money the other one made. So pony up. I'm like, yeah, this is probably, I can't see that working out.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you there. I mean, this could be a one hit wonder. I mean, the name definitely helped with some people, especially older millennials that remember Minecraft growing up. Probably wanted to go see it. Took their kids to see it. The new trailers probably enticed new kids, and then people saw YouTubers and decided to make a TikTok trend out of chicken jockey. Which, even though is frowned upon doing those things in the theater, it's added more publicity to it, blowing it
I,
up even more.
I saw one response to the whole theaters going, don't do that. Don't do that. As, hey, have special showings where you allow that, you
Oh,
know, because they're all the theaters always talking about what can we do to get more people in the theater. Do that. If you have enough crowd that wants to do that, allow that. You know, yeah, you got to
eh,
clean up the crap afterwards, but you got to do that anyway because with or without them doing the extra stuff, there's going to be sticky soda and popcorn and all kinds of crap in the theater anyway. So, I mean, is it really adding more work? Yeah.
interesting. Well, it definitely is probably It's helping sell a lot of candy for sure.
Right. Well, that and I bet you the kids are telling their friends after they do it, hey, come on, we'll go watch it again and bring your phone and we're gonna have fun. So that's probably a lot of for the numbers they're getting. There's got to be some repeat viewership going on there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's good. But you know what really surprised me, and I think you couldn't even pronounce some of the characters in this, but Niza 2 seems to be the worldwide $1 billion smash hit. I never even heard of this.
Me neither. And as you know, before the show, I looked up what it's about, and I still don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I have no idea. And then Captain America Brave New World sits at number 2, which 4GQ TV did an interview with Rob Edwards, so go check that out on the channel. Snow White sits at a astounding number 4, which I'm surprised because for
How much
technically,
hate that movie has gotten. Holy crap.
yes, and rumors are that some theaters even pulled it. Then there's Dogman, that cartoon movie about half dog, half man.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I thought it was already on streaming services.
It might be because they've done that every once in a while where it crosses the stream, so to say.
Processes. Uh, but I mean, that's technically your box office roundup there with the top 5, which you know, Nizat 2 seems to be leading the charge. Maybe everybody should kind of go into that genre for a little while just to pick up some pace, or do some chicken jockey stuff in their movies, and they'll pick up the pace. Hey,
chicken jockey.
there's gonna be a lot of tropes in 20 years of that chicken jockey move.
You're gonna see a lot of chicken jockey cosplay and a lot of even more Minecraft cosplay and some of the stuff that you do. I can guarantee it.
I am Steve.
Uh, yeah, you're more like Grim. What's his name? Gimli, but whatever.
No, well, when I was at I think MegaCon this past year, there was a gangster Steve.
Gangsta Steve.
It was his self-made Steve character from Minecraft, where he had a lot of gold chains. He had a boombox and a radio on his shoulder, and it looked like a '80s hip hop, like Run DMC,
Yeah.
but dressed as Minecraft Steve.
So I wouldn't say that gangster. I would say that hip hop or breaking Steve maybe.
He said gangster. He really said
Okay,
it.
he said it, but I don't think he gets what a gangster is, and a gangster doesn't carry around a boombox on their shoulder.
Hey,
A violin case, maybe, but that's different.
wow. Okay, so you're going to the old school gangsters. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, the other thing, the other news here is that we have what you call it, Nintendo, with their Switch 2, which has gotten a lot of bad press lately. Because if the Switch 2 is not for you, there's a Switch 1 out there that you could play, and that Switch 1 just can't play Switch 2 games. No, that's not a good thing to say.
Okay, rule number one in the video game world is never go full Don Matic. Okay, it's a do not tell people they could just get a second job, and do not tell them they can go buy something they probably already own three of if they can't afford the new one. It's like, wait, what? No, bad, bad, bad. The
Yes, no,
whole this whole Switch thing has become a PR nightmare, and I don't think they're aware of it. I really think they're that tone deaf to their community, or to the community in general. Yeah,
I hope not, Paul.
I mean, add to that we've seen that, like, the the special joystick for playing some of the older games will only work with the older games. So, so you're looking at buying multiple joysticks, probably one for the older games and one for the newer games, or controllers. I'm saying not the actual Joy Cons, but the actual standalone controllers that are closer to an Xbox controller. You know, for those of us who don't want to try to use Joy Cons, uh, you're looking at the whole fiasco that was just announced today with the whole, what's it called? The upgraded, which game was it? I sent you the link. I need to look. The Zelda one.
Yes. Yeah, Rebecca Valentine, I think, wrote the article, and
Yeah.
she's a very trustworthy source. I've seen her
Yep.
long when she was at was it GI Industry Biz or something, and then IGN. No, she's a very trustworthy writer.
So yeah, so the Breath of the Wild, well, the new version, if you have the old version, you can upgrade it to the Switch 2 version for $10. But if you don't have the old version, but you want the new version, you got to pay $70 for it, and it will not include the DLC. That'll be an additional $20 for the full thing. So you're looking at $90 to get what essentially was, it's an 8-year-old game, by the way. Even at 70, it's costing $20 more than it originally cost, 8 years ago. uh, Again, not a good look. I don't know what they're thinking. I honestly don't. They're really I think they're really going to be testing out the whole loyalty thing here. Uh,
Yes,
and the fear of tariffs is not helping. We still don't have a U.S. price or pre-order situation yet, or Canada. They've held off Canada too. So this is just turning into a cluster. I'll keep it at that short term. you know, and they're supposed to be having some kind of meeting and discussing all this, but the way things are going, it's not. To me, it's just, it looks bad, it smells bad. This is not going to end well, usually for the consumer. Yeah, you are going to have your diehards that'll basically sell their children to get a Switch too. Yeah, but I think in the end, this is going to hurt. At least may hurt their initial sales. Yeah, people will buy it for, some people hear this stuff like, well, just get the Switch One, and they don't think anything of it. But a lot of people are going to be like going, nah, there's so many other options now, especially for handheld gameplay. So unless you really want that Switch for those games, then a lot of people, even people I know that are diehard Nintendo fans, are like, yeah, I think I'll wait. And then what's oh yeah, they announced it. So the exclusive launch title for the Switch 2, Hades 2. Now, mind you, Hades is a great game, but I don't see Hades 2 as a console mover. That, man, I just gotta play that Hades 2 when it comes out. So I'm gonna go get that Switch 2. I, I'm sorry, I don't see that. I don't think Hades 2, Hades, as good as the game it was, isn't like a Mario or isn't like a Zelda or isn't like any of the whole, that are going to move consoles if they're exclusive at launch for just that form factor for the Switch 2. Hades, I don't see Hades 2 moving that needle.
Yeah, I don't, because you can play it on PC. You can play it on PC. You don't have to worry about tariffs as long as you have
Yeah.
a PC already. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, why not, right?
Yep. Well, and like I said, it's just not a strong enough title for people to go, "Oh my god, I gotta have that." I don't see that at all.
Well, Paul, there's been some other news lately. Spider-Man: Brand New Day has been driving fans crazy. They're trying to guess which villains might be in it because the Brand New Day comic book line really features Mr. Negative, and Mr. Negative was in the Spider-Man game. That's where he was first introduced, if you remember, back in 2018, I believe it was, from
Right.
Insomniac Games. Now, here's the kicker. Brand New Day, the movie, is supposed to have, just like the comic book line, Mr. Negative in it. Now, when I spoke to Steven earlier, who's played Mr. Negative in the game, he couldn't confirm nor deny Mr. Negative. He can say that he hasn't been in any talks with anybody, but the fans, the Marvel fans, have outpouring support like none other. 488,000 impressions, hundreds of thousands of retweets and likes, asking and begging Marvel and Sony to put him in as the villain. Now, Marvel has not answered, Sony has not answered, but somebody who watches casting rumors and picks up on casting rumors said that they were looking for an Asian male and in the same age range as Stephen O'Young. So people are putting two and two together and making the assumption that Stephen O'Young is going to play Mr. Negative in the movie. We don't know for sure. Stephen O'Young did not confirm it. But Marvel and the cast agents seem like they want someone just like him to play it.
Well, and the whole "I can neither confirm nor deny" is usually means I can't see either way, but it usually means at least there's some discussion going on. Usually, that if you can't blatantly say no, but you can't say yes either because NDAs and stuff. A confirm or deny means there's something going on there. No.
Now, when I asked them, I said, "Will we see Mr. Negative in another Spider-Man game or in anything else in the future?" He said, "Mr. Negative will be around in the future."
So
he didn't say if
he didn't say how, in what form or anything, or how.
No, but he said he will be around in the future. But he couldn't confirm if it's him again.
Yep.
But he's the one that made Mr. Negative Mr. Negative. That's why people liked it, because it was him playing the role.
Yep.
And he's been. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and though, being the comic book nerds that people are, if he doesn't play the role in the movie, then you're gonna get a whole level of, oh my god, but he did so, so hopefully they can use him. Hopefully he's the right age currently and the right physical build currently that they want for that character.
Yes. And he's going to be in Mission Impossible, the new one. He plays alongside Tom Cruise at some point. Didn't say when in the movie or how, but he said he has a role next to Tom Cruise. And he has some pictures eating dinner, or at a dinner with Tom Cruise and some other people. So that was pretty cool to see.
And he helped Tom Cruise put his booster seat on the chair. So.
No. And so I asked him, I said, "Do you have any other projects under NDA that you could talk?" Not under NDA. I said, "Do you have any
other products under NDA that you could break NDA about?"
I said, "Do you have any products that you can talk about that are not under NDA?" I should say. And he said, Mm, mm, mm. And then he said, I can give you a hint, but I can't talk about it. It's at the end of the year. It's a real. I'm gonna be playing with a guy who's very popular. He's first he says he has dreads, and he says no, he's got long hair and he's buff.
Fab from Milli Vanilli. Oh no.
No, I was thinking Jason Momoa.
Oh, why he? So he would be playing Jason Momoa.
No, 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 playing in whatever he is. But I could be
Oh,
wrong. It might not be Jason Momoa. For all I know, it could be the Predator. I don't know. You know.
that could be. Yeah, we're doing another Predator movie, I think. So
So I don't know. I thought that that was pretty interesting. So it was a good interview. We spoke for a good 15 minutes. Kept it short but straight to the point. Got the pineapple on pizza question. He did say, Paul, anybody who eats mustard or sauerkraut on a pizza are psycho.
I don't know where you're getting this sauerkraut thing from. I've never heard of that one.
Wally Wingert.
Oh.
Yes.
No,
But he
I again, I could see how a sauerkraut in minor form would work on like a pepperoni sausage pizza because I mean that's basically
Oh yeah, with
especially this
sausage. Yeah.
especially the sausage thing because that's basically what a kraut dog is.
Yep. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is some of the interviews that you and I did. I'll bring it up again. Nico Santucci, which was a great interview. He's an amazing guy from Chicago. His restaurant Capo's is out there in Las Vegas. He also just day that we interviewed him, he opened Capo's Pizzeria as well, and he told Paul you should try some of the hot honey pineapple, I believe it was.
Yeah, he said if he puts Pete, he has a hot honey glaze that he puts on his. He said when we spoke to him that he said it was funny that we actually asked him that question because earlier that day they had no less than a 2 hour discussion in his kitchen whether they should serve pineapple on pizza in any form. So he came up with this little thing with a glaze to go over it and stuff, and a thin crispy crust, which really sounds edible. Unlike your basic, let's take a Canadian bacon and throw some pineapple on it and call it a day.
Yeah,
So
which I think is interesting because the way he made it sound like it's gonna taste good.
yeah.
Now I kind of want to see what that tastes like for sure. But Stephen O'Young likes shrimp on his pizza.
Oh, interesting.
It's a
With
combo.
red sauce?
Just he just said
No, it's
shrimp
got to be.
on
It's got to be. It's got to be with white sauce. He's got to be doing that with white sauce, not red.
just as a topping on the pizza.
Yeah, but I mean, there's got to be. I
Fried
can't
shrimp.
see that on a classic red sauce. That would
Fried
just be
shrimp.
weird.
We're gonna have to try it now, Paul. We're gonna have to try it.
Mr. Negative, definitely coming out there.
But to get back to Nico's interview, was about his movie Sarah. I can never pronounce it. Saratega. But
You're gonna make me look it up again, aren't you?
yeah, Paul's gonna look it up. But it's a very deep movie. It has a very deep meaning. It's culturally appropriate because he had Japanese people on set to make sure that things were done correctly. Paul also brought up some of the stuff about the mood settings from bleak to vibrant as well. Nico's a good guy, so everybody should.
Yep.
I hope you check out the
And
interview.
and the other one I could remember we spoke to was for the asthma journals.
Dan Asma.
That was
Yes.
that was the other one we spoke to that same day or same week.
And he's filming the Asthma Chronicles, which is now up
Yep.
on YouTube. What's interesting about this is that he's all doing found footage. He's using an iPhone with a lavalier microphone for most of it, a Hollyland. And then he's doing a few things with a boom mic, but not so much, which I mean is interesting. And he's got a small crew. He's doing it out in the San Diego mountains. So it's going to be unique footage. Paul's seen some of the episodes. It scared Paul out of his chair. He had to spend a couple days with all the lights on in his house, I heard.
Oh, stop it!
Paul's
I'm
like,
not you. I'm not you.
he has a nightlight. He has a Care Bear nightlight now as well, just to make sure he's safe.
And like he said, it's not a gooey scary movie. It's more of a suspense type of A couple of jump scares, but there's no goo, no, at least for the parts I've seen. And he said there's not really a lot of it's not squishy. It's
No,
like
it's not squishy. But Paul, what else? We talked to James B. Cox, who was one of the Stephen King $1 million movie baby makers. Julian
yep.
Marchese was as well. But James's interview was pretty cool because he discussed his movie in depth, and that was a really great interview. I wish I didn't have an appointment afterwards because I would have loved to keep talking to him.
Yep.
Paul, you saw that movie and you were like, dude, this is scary as hell. Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is top notch fear monger, and I gotta hide in the closet for weeks, right?
No, no, no. Again, uh, there, and he uses sound and a lot of sound. The movie is very sound driven from the music they use. They use an old a folk song called "In the Pines," and especially if you're a country music person, who you probably have heard versions of that song, but like I mentioned to him and during an interview, it goes back almost as long, if not as long, as the old Tom Dooley song, "Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley." Those are based on old songs. I mean, we're talking 1800s, um, and they tell a story, what he calls a murder song. Yeah, and that's what they are. They're songs about, you know, murder, basically, especially if you know Tom Dooley. I went up to the mountain where there I took my knife, went up the mountain, and there I took her life.
Hang down your head, Tom
Yeah.
Dooley. Yeah.
And it's about a guy who's going to get hung for the crimes that he committed. So it's a murder ballad. It tells a story. It basically, and it's the music. Those songs are basically musical versions of the Grimm fairy tales. They're moral lessons.
Like King
You
Henry VIII, I am.
know, but not as corny. Yeah.
Okay. So
uh, and the movie is very well done. All the main actors in the movie all do a great job. The lead who plays Murray, she's amazing. They recorded the song they sing, the In the Pines. They recorded that. It's not re-recorded in the studio. That is their live performance in the cabin they were using to shoot the movie. And he goes through all of this. And it's really amazing. And the way they use sound design and such, they did a great job. It's well worth watching.
and Diego and his son were the sound guys.
Yeah,
Diego and Diego's son, I should say, not Dan's son.
right.
But Diego and Diego's son were the sound guys. And they were so into the sound and the atmosphere that they went out of the cabins, even on their time off, on their own accord. They weren't asked to do this. They just wanted to do this. And they got real authentic nature sounds, footstep sounds, to help with post processing because they
Yep.
wanted it to be high quality. And now we understand from James that Diego's back in Texas working on something else. So this Diego guy, whoever you are a hero of sound because if Paul said your sound was good, your
Yeah.
sound is good. And Paul likes the classics like Halloween.
Yep. Oh, and I'm big into audio, especially for movies. If the audio and something that he yelled at me for because I said there really is no score. He said, "Well, there is." I'm like, "Oops, okay," but it's a minimalist score because there's parts of the movie that are very silent. He uses visuals and the sounds that you hear. He wanted to make you feel like you were out there in the wilderness alone. It works. Trust me. If you get a chance to see this movie, make sure you do. What was it called again? Let me uh, have to look up because we have all kinds of. Uh, Hang on, I just had it too. That was Gray Matter. That Gray Matter is the one that we can't really. That was the one he did for the Stephen King thing. That hopefully they're going to do something with that as well. Call of the Void is the name of this movie. And actually it comes out on digital platforms on April 15th. So 5 days from today. So be sure you check out Call of the Void.
Yes.
And you can actually pre-order it already on Apple TV. I don't know about the other digital formats, but it will be there as well.
And tomorrow, a movie comes out by Angel Studios called The King of Kings, a Charles Dickens story, which is a uh, how do I say it? It's not based 100% on the Charles Dickens story that he wrote about the King of Kings or Jesus, but it is the entrance for this film by Angel Studios, which is actually was written by I can't remember his name, man, and he's got a unique name too because he's Korean. Written by him, and then Rob Edwards, the co-writer on Princess and the Frog, some other stuff, and Live in Color, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and recently Captain America: Brave New World. He's the one that took the Korean writing, translated it to English in a sense, and came up with this fantastic story. They all work together, and this is something that has been in the making for like 15 years. They have an all-star cast when it comes to voice actors, like Mark Hamill, um, Forrest Whitaker. Man, there is just James Arnold Taylor, Fred Tatasciore, so many great people involved in this project that it's going to be good just for the voice acting alone. Not it's not everybody's type of movie, but I'm definitely gonna go see it. I got a ticket to go see it tomorrow at 11:20 a.m. Ooh, yeah, the early showing, usually the matinee. So I'm excited for it. So we interviewed them at WonderCon and the Until Dawn interviews, and like I said, I'm gonna reconfirm this for anybody watching now or watching later. But the Until Dawn movie adaptation, yes, it is different than the video game as it resets every night and they gotta make till morning to escape. However, we got confirmation from Sandberg and Doverman that it actually expands on the Until Dawn universe. Like this is going to become something that expands the video game universe, and they're hoping that it spawns into sequels or subsets of other content in the universe to introduce new characters, new settings, because the whole universe, the Until Dawn universe, would be very unique. You know, just like the Halloween universe or Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, they're all universes. And
Well,
Until Dawn,
one, especially with Until Dawn, if you played the game, there's no way what's going on is isolated to that one little, that one little area, you know. So
yes,
it's interesting to see, find out more about the backstory, maybe how it actually started and things like that.
it would be
And yeah,
it'd be cool to see for sure.
and let's see, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I actually saw an ad for it the other day on one of the video streaming services. I actually saw an ad for Until Dawn. It may have even been during Raw on Netflix or something, because they show commercials for stuff. I don't remember though, but I know I actually saw an ad for that movie coming out soon. So they are advertising it. So if you look it up on the in YouTube or whatever, I'm sure you can find the trailer for it if you want to check it out and see what they're doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. Um, it's gonna be a really good. I think it's gonna be a really good movie. It's got some really good people behind it. Like I said, David S. Sandberg, you know him from the Annabelle series, from a few other series, horror. He's big into horror. He loves practical effects. I mean, that's something that horror fans are huge on, right? Like you want a set to get messy to make it good, and the acting can only be done in one shot, kind of scene.
Yeah, we
Horror.
talked about that with them, but we spoke to actually. Yeah. For the really bloody stuff, you wait till that's the last shot of the day, so and of the movie. Because we're gonna
Yes,
destroy a set. We're gonna
absolutely. And Paul, we're gonna get topic also. The Last of Us, Last of Us, Last of Us, Last of Us.
remake, remaster, original, new edition, newest edition. The won't probably be the last edition of the editions. So
Are you excited for it?
of the complete edition of the last of editions. Personally, no. Uh, I think it's getting to the point to where Naughty Dog is just trying to. This is getting silly. Okay, this is nobody releases this many versions of the same game unless you're Nintendo. Uh,
It's
and
getting
all
exhausting.
and all of these have been in the last what 5 years or so. Holy crap! You know how many versions of the game can you? Now, admittedly, I bought like Skyrim 3 times, but one was a PC version, one was the the initial 360 version, and then one was the upgraded, one for the newer consoles, whatever, But for in this short of time, all in the same console generation, yeah, no, I'm good. And I've only played the first one. I really, yeah, and it was all right. There were some parts that were hard for me, difficult, and so I personally can't see myself investing in this. And they're asking for like $100 or something for it. I think so. I can't. I don't. I can't guarantee that right now, but I think it's not going to be cheap to get the complete edition. In fact, I'll see if I can pull up that information to tell you what exactly it involves here. Hang on. But, where is it? Oh, here it is. Hang on. Let me look at the. So the collector's edition pre-order now available July 10th. I think that says. Let me see if I can make the picture bigger. Trying to see what exactly. Okay, that didn't work. Trying to make it so I can tell you what the details are of the. Because it's. Why didn't. Okay, that's just weird. Link. It because the picture I got is on Discord, and I can't blow up Discord that easily to make it really big. Oh, maybe I can do that. Here we go. Hang on.
As you're looking at that, I'm just looking to see if there's any more breaking news about anything. In the meantime, while you're looking some of that up,
So
just
it
gonna.
comes with a steel box case with physical. So it will have physical disc of The Last of Us Part One, um, and steel box The Last of Us American Dreams comics 1 through 4 with new cover art, set up for lithograph art prints. And this thing doesn't give the price, but yeah, to me it's a cash grab. So yeah, that's it.
The other news is about Xbox, man. Like, they have the June 8th showcase, gonna be all digital. It
Oh,
feels
that's right.
like,
Yes.
yeah, it kind of feels like that the Xbox Fan Fest experience is going away. Like, I mean, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary. Yes, they did say that afterwards they would do a 10-year anniversary kind of thing, but in the meantime, the Xbox Fan Fest has been pushed down to a June 8th showcase that's digital only, or if you're at Summer Games Fest, you might be able to catch some of it. Um, a lot of fans are saying it's end of an era. You have some of the Xbox guys out there saying, they're sad about this, that there's great memories to be made. But my question is, you know, some of these guys that are posting these things have been to almost every fan fest. Okay, they've been to almost all 10 fan fests.
And some of them never paid for any of it, but that's another story.
Oh well, no, yeah, like no, you win,
Yeah,
or
I'm not talking about
yeah,
that. I'm just talking about
friend
they're
invite.
complaining they don't get to go, but they also they weren't, some of them weren't having to fight for their tickets, or and to pay their own way to get their room. So to me, to have them whining, okay, stop it. Plus
No,
we don't know if it's the last one either. I mean, that's the other thing. Is we don't know if they're just holding it off because they want to do the big 10-year thing outside of Games Fest, because that way they can have the spotlight to themselves, literally, and go, this is a big deal. 10 years of Fan Fest. This is a big deal. You know, hopefully this isn't, the last hurrah before they go, you're never going to see us again. You know,
Well, I just want to say though that a lot of people also had friend invites a lot, so a lot of
yeah,
times they would constantly invite the same friends if they
right.
got picked. So that was there. But when it comes to this, like I honestly do feel, and some people out there might say, "No, you're crazy," but I feel like the reason why FanFest could be come to an end is because I think there's a strong possibility, and I don't have any way to confirm this, but just from what we've seen in the news, Paul, just what from we hear every day on Twitter, and we see like certain games go on multi-platform, maybe Xbox is kind of shifting into a position that if their next console doesn't do well or well enough, that they could shift into what kind of like what Sega does, or even if they had a handheld console, maybe it would be a system that plays multiple game sets or
Right, but even if
publishers.
they do, with their whole this is an Xbox thing that you can play anywhere, you don't need a console. They still have their all the IPs they own, all the studios they own. They could still highlight that stuff once a year, bring because that bring people together and go, ooh, wow, neat. Let us talk to the developers. Let us see the big, the big, of course, the debuts, the premiere, the world premiere. you know there's no reason they can't continue to do that because a lot of it could come down to for them to put on those shows because they no longer own that Dolby Theater. They did for a few years, but they don't own it anymore. um it is not cheap. For them to do all that is not a cheap thing for them to do. Plus they do it in LA. They're based in Redmond. So even for all of them to go down there and take everything down there with them and all that is not cheap. so so if they choose not to do any physical events or that physical event in particular ever again, from a financial standpoint, that's understandable. If they're not seeing a proper return on investment of for doing that kind of thing.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can say that you're wrong on there. They need to stay profitable, and however they choose to do so, they're a company. They put on their big boy pants and they do what companies do. Fans might not like it, but you know what? At the end of the day, they don't only serve just fans; they
Yeah.
serve consumers in general.
Well,
Casual.
and in the real world, I mean, you got to go there once that I'm aware of, once or twice, right?
Yep.
Um, in the real world, how many people were there physically for that? How just a few hundred, right?
Yeah, because I think there is a size limit based on
Right.
the
Well, based
theater
on the theater
itself.
for one, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not talking like 5,000 people or anything like that. We're talking, maybe five, somewhere between 500 and 1,000, depending on the size. I don't know how big that theater is, but I know it's pretty good sized. Um, so where this isn't really directly affecting a whole lot of people. It's funny to see all the they're not going to do anymore. Okay, it's all those people. I'd like to see a poll for all those people that are complaining that they're not going to do this physical thing anymore. How many of them actually ever went? Now we're planning on going. Ever actually went? You know. So it's like sometimes I think people are just looking for something to go. Oh man, this means they're dying. No, stop. Yeah, stop it. You know, no, it just means that maybe they're choosing to put that money elsewhere. And if they want to know where to put it, I'll give them my Cash App address. Not a problem. If they want to use Venmo, I'm open to that too. Just kidding. Just
Wow. But you know what? There's other than that, there's not like a whole lot of news out there, and Paul and I don't like to clickbait or engage in what do you call it? Uh, Whatever it takes, whatever some
yeah,
people do.
we're not gonna. We at least
Rage bait.
I don't rage bait or clickbait or or talk crap about any company just to talk crap.
Yep.
My my views, be it negative or positive, is based on the decisions that I'm seeing them make, and I think whether it's good or bad, I am. though I am primarily an Xbox player, I also play on my PC. World of Warcraft, baby, sucking my life away again. Uh, but I also when there's a game I want to play, I'll play on PS5. It I personally don't own a Nintendo. There aren't enough titles there for me to warrant even getting the original Switch. Just because I don't know that I would ever use it. Now, if I ever got back into the situation where I was, like commuting to work or somewhere, or having to ride a bus for a while, like I used to, then yeah, I might get one because I like doing that. I used to read on my kid. That's when I used to be my reading time. But Carlo and I both agree that we don't just say stuff just to say it. We're not out there trying to drive up a certain sector of audience that are going to be rah rah rah. We agree with you all the time. Nope. But if I say something negative about Nintendo, like we did today, or if I say something negative about, it wasn't Sony in particular, but Naughty Dog, like I did today, it's because the decisions they're making and the actions they're taking are not what I consider consumer friendly. They're not even business friendly, really. Some of them you just kind of got to go, why? So that's always where I try to come from. It's an honest opinion, and usually a very well, doesn't always come out as thought out, but I never try to be off the cuff. I always try to educate myself before I give you my point of view. I do a lot of reading before we ever get to talking, so I always know at least a baseline of what we're talking about. And I even do that for the interviews and stuff we do. You can ask Carlo how much work I do before we ever talk to anybody. I've read some really questionable books, and I've seen some movies that I would never see uh, voluntarily if I didn't have to. And none of them was recently. I'm just saying it happens. It's but I always try to go in educated, knowledgeable, and know what I'm talking about. That's it. Yeah.
That is true. That is very true. Well, I think
Because
that
Hey,
P-
Dion's here. Or PK. It says Dion on the screen. Sorry.
oh
I
PK,
didn't, yeah,
PK's here.
I didn't know you sent the link on my phone and not just.
Ah. Okay, back to the top. No. How you doing, PK?
How are you?
I am doing great.
That's
Nice
what's up.
chill Thursday.
So, Paul, you owe me $5 for pineapple pizza.
Oh no.
What?
Why would
No,
I owe you
no,
money for you
no,
eating that
no.
crap?
We said no takebacks. We
Oh.
said no takebacks.
I'm
Don't be acting
Wow.
brand new right now. Don't do that.
not even sure what we're talking about. Why?
You know what we talking about. Don't be acting like you lost your memory now. You remember everything else since beginning of time. You don't remember this. Don't have no
Yeah.
selective memory now.
Who are you again?
See? That's what I'm talking about. You don't trust your friends. You don't trust nobody. That's just what it is. You don't even know the people anymore.
Yep.
Did we talk about? I missed the whole thing. Hey, did we talk about the midnight game?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. It didn't come up.
That's the
What?
midnight game.
You know, South of Midnight.
Oh, that game.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if you were talking about Sound of the Midnight or Midnight Club or
You didn't ask either.
Yeah.
You know what? But hey, that game is pretty good, by the way.
I started it. I've done the first two chapters. It is. It's very good
I
so
think
far.
they need to get an award for that game because I
Yeah.
like the art direction and the music. Everything just kind of pops up at the right time. The dialogue, everything just kind of works. And Carlos should like it because there's a big alligator in it.
Yes, I played it. I think it's great. It's very immersive. The atmosphere is awesome. The music is great. The writing is on point. The character interactions really have a lot of emotion to them. I think that it's a very well done game. It's like a masterpiece. My rating is right there about an 8 out of 10 on that.
I would give it a 9 out of 10 because it plays very well and accessibility on there. Paul says, that's the first thing he goes through. Yes, you can make yourself invincible, not die at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, the one thing I found interesting was you could skip the chase scenes, which are, they're there.
Yeah,
Um,
you can check, you
and,
skip all kinds of stuff.
and you could, the chase scene even allows you to, it's not a continual chase scene where if you stop, you die. You actually can stop, kind of catch yourself, and then continue on. You have a few seconds before it catches up, and
Yeah, I don't
and
think
and
they made that part hard at all. I think it's
nope.
not good.
And then you can skip the boss battles, just the boss battles, or you can skip all the battles and just fight the boss if that's what you want to do. Uh, so yeah, they've made it, and people are like, why would they do that?
Super flexible.
Because some people just want to enjoy the story.
True.
They just want to, and this allows them to play the game the way they want to play. If they just want to have it as a visual story, they can do that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right. I think that's dope.
Yep.
Super enjoy that. I thought I think they should definitely get awards for that because, you know, uh
And
the
I like
story.
I love the visual style, and I mentioned it on the because I streamed the beginning when I played, and I've mentioned it on other stuff. At the beginning, when you step outside of your house and you're watching the rain is coming down, and it's kind of like it's dripping off the eave onto the rail on the porch, and it looks very realistic. I mean, I looked at that and went, wow, that looks just so damn real. Because it's just
Well,
a
feels
slow drop.
real, I
Yeah,
would say. But
and the
I would
sound was
say that
amazing as well.
yeah, so definitely sound, art direction, every part of the story has a lesson in it, right? A whole theme of the story is about healing from trauma and forgiveness, right? It's just really good. It can resonate with a lot of people if they took a little time to play it. Um, yeah, you can customize your experience, how you run through it, and you can do it at any time. So you can change it if you say, "Oh, I think I want to change it now." You can definitely do that. So they have a lot of flexibility in the game. So I think it deserves a shout out. You know what I mean? I think they put together a pretty good game there, and definitely needs some kudos and flowers for it. Uh, of course, Monster Hunter came out their DLC, and that was a big deal this weekend. And then, Assassin's Creed. Uh, Again, I would just say, and nobody jump on me because I did own Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I barely played it. This one, I played the crap out of it, and I still ain't finished the game. In about 60, 70 hours into the game, and I don't even think I'm halfway done. Because I'm just so wandering around, just distracted by all these different little things going on because I kind of want to soak up all of the story, you
Right.
know. And maybe that's just me, and maybe it's just excited because I haven't really played this game, but I think it was well done. Uh, On-screen performance between the characters are pretty good. Uh, I don't even see any issues here. I don't understand all the nonsense feedback. I mean, people act like this is the first game to ever did anything that's done in this game. It's definitely not. So we just need to stop being in our feelings and relax. Like everybody, it's a single player game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you worried about somebody else's experience? Let them have it
Yep.
and enjoy it. Uh, you know, Tomorrow's a new season of Marvel Rivals rather. So
Yep.
there's a big issue because Emma Frost White Queen, they got her looking like a boss, stacked thick, got everything just her walk and switch and everything, and just very provocative looking gear. But that's how she look in the comics. So I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, that's how she looks and acts and drawn. I mean, for people to act like this is brand new again, talking about, I've seen people talking about, let's ban Marvel Rivals for the US is hurting women. What?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't see what you're talking about. You need to go jump in a garbage can and
All those people are jumping on every single game nowadays.
like
If it's not
you,
Marvel Rivals,
you
it's
can't
South of
have,
Midnight because she looks too butch. Well,
you
no, she
know,
doesn't.
people need to just let other people enjoy the crap
Right.
and be done with it. It's okay if you got an opinion, but your opinion don't count if you ain't played the game. Period. Don't be having no opinion. You ain't even tried it yet.
Yep.
And on top of that, who cares?
Yeah.
Like last time I checked, video games is a form of art expression. And if that's true, not everything is for everybody, right?
Right.
Some of us are Kendrick fans and some of us is Drake wannabes. They not like us. That's how I feel about it. Some of us like real music and some of us like cardboard cutouts. And that's okay. It's funny. I like making fun of you, but I'm not going to hold you back from enjoying whatever nonsense you enjoy. So, my opinion, you need to climb up. I don't even know what to tell them, but they need to do something with themselves. And maybe they just need to be on an island to themselves if they worry about what's hurting people. Because I don't think video games is hurting anybody, but bringing joy to the masses and giving people options to, uh, play games for whatever reasons they play games out here. I don't understand how games bring anybody pain. If anything, it could be used as a healing mechanism.
Well, and a lot of times, a lot of these people are just doing it so they get the clicks and stuff. They're
A lot of people are doing it because they're just idiots, and I said it. They're just idiots. They're dumb and they're bored and they want attention. The last thing you want to do is ask for it because, some people will give you that smoke and then you act surprised that it happened because you opened your mouth and commented on something you have no business commenting on. Honestly, a lot of times if I don't got nothing nice to say about something, I don't go online to express it. That's kind of dumb. I think there's an old teaching from what mom used to say. You ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all,
Yep.
kind of thing. So why get on a developer? Like it's this is what's funny. I'll give you an example. I'm on Steam and reading comments about, community discussion about Monster Hunter. Then this dude gets in here because, there's some people who are saying they having trouble with their PC to play the game. And what is not communicated is Monster Hunter is a CPU intensive game, even on console. It's a CPU intensive game. So it doesn't matter what kind of GPU you got. If your CPU is weak, you're going to feel it. It's just what it is. And that's for any game that requires a large environment to load and do all that stuff in the background to make things move.
Yep.
Um, and here come in the comments, well, it plays great on my PS5. What the hell are you doing on here? Get your
Yeah.
little rabbit troll ass put up out of here. You got a PS5 player in the Steam comment. What the heck? This is the nonsense I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same as like, this game isn't selling well at all because only 250,000 people are playing it on Steam. Yeah, it's a console-based game. What the hell are you talking about? It's like,
What
yeah, yeah,
and honestly,
yeah,
I'm saying what these
yeah.
trolls
It's
just go. If you're not gonna play South to Midnight, don't be in the comments talking to the devs and saying all kinds of nonsense to them, criticizing something
yeah,
that you're not playing. If you ain't gonna play it, keep it moving.
yep,
Otherwise, don't be surprised when someone gives you that smoke and call you an idiot.
yep. Well, it's like one of my favorite things when people, announce that they're leaving or it's like this in an airport. There's no reason to announce it. Just go. Just
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, I can understand to a degree if they just want to say bye to their fans or something.
Right.
But I'm just talking about these fake
But
games.
well, no, but it's like
Don't play
because
games
I've seen it for South of Midnight. Some one of the Yahoos is like, yeah, I'm never going to play this game. And why is he never going to play this game? Because Sweet Baby Ray was involved, or sweet whatever, like Sweet Baby, whatever it's called. But it's like, okay, so you haven't played the game. You really have no idea what the game's about. You've seen some stuff that was said about it, but you don't know if it's true or not. But because they were involved, you're choosing not to play it. And then not only that, you're now telling everybody in the world that you're not going to play it. Nobody cares. Okay.
because
Nobody gives
your
a crap
because your
whether
life
you're going to.
choice somehow impacts mine.
Yeah.
You know what? Only thing that is impacting me is that my eyes are bleeding from reading the nonsense that you put
Yeah.
online because for some reason you want my attention.
Yep. You think that your point of view is that important that you need to step into every thread about it and harp on and let everybody know that you're not going to play this game for some asinine reason. Okay, great. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out here. Look, I hate with a passion. I hate them damn Souls like games. I do not like that damn. What's the last one? I don't like it. I hate it. I hate them games because they just one, they don't appeal to me, and when I play it, it sucked. It sucked. The co-op sucked. I don't like putting in codes to let my friend join every time a darn a cutscene cuts. They kick them out. Then you gotta add another code to put them back in. If I die, they die. It's got
Yeah.
to do it again. Anything that they pick up in my world don't count for them. No story progression across the way if we co-op. And what's the point? I
Yep.
hate that. But that's me. But that don't mean I'm going on the developer's page and telling them how much I hate the game and I ain't gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? That let people enjoy it. If people think, that's the game of the year, that's their opinion and that's their view. It's
Hey,
not mine.
if somebody wants to sit there and get punched in the balls over and over and again, that's none of my concern. It's like
It's funny. I'll make fun of you, but I'm not gonna sit
but
here
yeah.
and try to threaten and talk about and use dumb words and talk. And what's really ironic is them accusing other people of pushing agendas, but they're the ones pushing the agenda.
Yep. Yeah, but it doesn't count when they do it, right? Yeah, 'cause, yeah.
No.
No, what it is they don't even see that
Right.
they're doing it. They
Yeah.
don't even understand that means the same thing.
Yeah.
When you pointing fingers, hey, there's four more pointing back at you.
Yep.
Jeez. Sorry, that's a little rant, but I'm just saying there's some great games came out. Assassin's Creed, wonderful, wonderful title. Um, and this is coming from a guy who just really put some time into it. I ain't never done that before on an Assassin's Creed game. So really good. I like it. South of Midnight, dope game. Uh, Obviously, Monster Hunter is breaking records. Prey Game of the Year contender. Uh, I don't know if anybody played that what was it called? The first Berserker, Tarzan, whatever. That's actually
I
good.
yeah, I have not, but I've heard good
And,
things
and
about it.
yes, that is a Souls like or rogue like is what is really should be said. But it's not Dark Souls. I hate Dark Souls. Like this is just a single player game, and you go in there and you just beat stuff up. All right. So that's a good game. No one's talking about that. There was another game that launched, and I know it's not on. I don't think it's on console. I haven't been on Xbox in a while, but it's this. It's like Sims, but it's called I don't know if you guys pull up a trailer or something. Uh, what's it called? Emui or something like that. It's kind of crazy. It looks crazy, man. It makes
Inzoi, like
it's yeah,
INZOI.
yeah, yeah. That game will make EA go back to the drawing board on Sims because that is crazy. That game is insane when it talks about that kind of gameplay. If anybody's like Sims or something, that game just took it to another level. Um, but anyways, that game is good to check out. I'm also looking forward to that Marvel beat 'em up. Uh, I don't know if you guys see that. You probably got to put. Gosh, why am I saying stuff you guys ain't seen? You know the Marvel beat 'em up game. What is that called, man?
Rivals?
No,
Well,
it's
isn't
a
that
side scroller beat 'em up like back in the day.
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it though.
It's by that same company who did Turtles and Streets of Rage 4.
Yep.
Um, I think that might be 6 players too. Anyways, that looks great, and even though it doesn't have a release date yet, but I'm looking forward to that one. Um, there's a bunch of games. Actually, it's a good problem to have right now. See, we could all just be happy. We got great stuff to play instead of complaining about every little thing, and all you play is Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Apex Legends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Well,
anything free. That's what I really don't. The people who don't even buy games is what kills me. The ones who act like they're gamers but don't play anything.
Pixel
But
Slappa says freedom is an illusion unless you got Game Pass.
yeah, you know what? Just looking at Switch 2, man. Right? Switch 2 is one of those things because I don't know why the price is so high, and I was wrong. And I don't think I'm wrong because I understand how Nintendo was going to price their stuff, but I think they're doing it for other reasons. And it's a little strange to me, right? 450 for the console. Last time anything was like with 50 on it was like the original Wii, right? Just seemed a little weird to me. But Switch 2 probably gonna be decent, but it only got one new game on launch.
Yep.
That's it.
And I don't
But
know if it's coming across, but I
80
am
to
sharing the
$90
exclusive
a
trailer
game.
for
Why?
for Enjoy or whatever Enjoy or
Yeah, and you know what? The price for a Nintendo Switch 2 games is wild. Like 80 to $90 is wild, bro. Like,
yep.
are you kidding me? Like some of these games that they put on there are older titles from like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yep.
And you're
That's
gonna
what a
charge
lot of us
80
that's
to
what a lot of us
$90?
noticed. Yeah. Most of the games that they showed were like been there, done that. You know, they've made a big deal about Cyberpunk 2070. I'm like, I played that 4 years ago. You know,
Yeah, but you can't be charging $80, $90 for these
no.
games, bro. Like that's insane to be thinking about, in my opinion. It's just crazy to me.
Okay,
Uh,
this Sims like game is this looks wild. This looks so realistic.
I
It's
I
scary.
told you, bro, like that's on another level.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That make EA be like, you know what? We got to go back to the drawing board. They done that's light years ahead. And it says, and I'm gonna tell you guys, yes, AI is used to develop the whole city in the background. So all of the characters you're not controlling, AI is creating and generating events. And it gives you a disclaimer that they do use AI to generate those events and things
Yeah.
to help interact, which I don't think is a bad thing. But the point I'm making is that if you look at that, man, that's just what? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts.
That's crazy. Anyways, that just dropped on Steam recently, and so I don't know if it's on console yet, but it probably will come at some point, just as far as interest or whatever. But man, that's crazy right there. Um, and that's kind of what I'm saying is just we need to celebrate these things and not be just trying to take somebody else's joy away. I mean, it's already enough. It's crazy. You know what's crazy? Why do we why do we reward negativity? Have you thought about that? Somebody can say something ignorant and stupid and put a TikTok or YouTube video out there and he'll get 1 million views for being ignorant. But if somebody says something uplifting or positive, no one would pay attention to it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
Yeah.
backwards?
Yep. And I've called it out a lot. So yeah.
We
You know,
shouldn't
it's
ignore it. We shouldn't reward negativity. That's for sure. I'm sorry, Carlo. There.
Yep, I'm here. No, I've just been listening to what you said, and I'm reading Pixel Slapper stuff in the chat, and there's a lot of stuff he's saying here that aligns with the pricing of games, and he stopped buying games years back. His collection already has merit, and his collection has value, but games today will never gain in value, and he's talking about AI and OI as a region's accent in the UK. I don't know what he means by that specifically, but I agree 100% on the game's value today versus games of yesterday. Like, even though games are increasing in price, a lot of them are going to be digital only going forward. They're not going to have as much physical media anymore. And what can
They
you
can't.
do?
I mean,
What
they're
can
big as hell now.
what can you what can you do with the digital game if you ever want to sell it? You can't. Like, you're wasting all this money in digital games and you can't even sell them.
I mean, I don't buy the games to sell them though.
No, I
I
know,
don't.
but
I
you
mean,
know it.
it's kind of like it's the same ideology. If I have Game Pass, I don't own none of that. I'm just playing whatever I didn't think about buying. So I mean, I don't see. I mean, I understand if that's your opinion on it, but I don't see that as a valid. What I see is the quality of games have changed, and you have hit and misses sometimes. Like some games are more hype than substance, and then some games that are substance don't even get a second look because of whatever reasons, right? Um, and I'll give you an example. Uh, Psychonauts 2 was a excellent game from beginning to end, very well written. Um, you know, the gameplay, everything about it, but it got overlooked. Why? Because it's a platformer. Platformer is an old school way of playing games, and platformers are usually overlooked by the massive multiplayer games. And those games barely have substance. Tell me, why is Fortnite so popular? Does it do anything to uh, make you feel like a story is being pushed forward? Why is Roblox so popular? Why did that come out and be rated at $50 billion? One game. You see what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. And it's part of the problem. There's multiple things here, right? And part of it is not that the people developing games just stop having a love for it. It's just that there is a rude direction coming from a lot of the execs from the top. Think about this. Tell me, am I wrong? Who out there has played the Arkham series from Rocksteady? Go
I
ahead.
have.
Oh yeah, I have.
All right. And tell me who has disliked that series. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Hold
Nobody.
on. Let me ask people on Reddit. I'm sure I'll get somebody.
See,
But-
I can tell you that
But
I don't there, and for me there's a notable difference between don't like and can't play, because I can't
But-
play Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, but I'm just saying, no one disliked it, right?
No,
So
absolutely not.
and then we move on, and then execs come in as they're developing their next project and say, we want to go live service and we want you to change this game. Their bosses come down and make them change.
Right, because because they've always been chasing that Fortnite money.
So what happened when that project came out?
Yeah, we know what happened when that project came out. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm coming from now?
Well, yeah. I mean, we always come from that. We know that as gamers.
But I'm
No.
giving you an example on there is
Yeah.
increasive in some capacity there is increased pressure to put out something that is a games as service when we all know that not there's first of all there's not enough space. Oversaturation, we don't have enough time.
Right.
All right, we don't. We as much as I love to play every single thing, we only got one life and we all time poor. So trying to dedicate to a massive online ongoing situation all the time. How many battle passes can you afford?
Right.
You get what I'm coming from? Like sometimes you just got to let certain things live in that space, but focus on the other things. Stop trying to chase what everybody else doing because eventually it's not going to last forever. Every bubble it's going to pop. The bubble's going to pop, and then people are going to move to another. Uh, you know, put it this way: the style of the '90s has came back.
Yeah.
About what I'm saying, like it's like nothing new's under the sun. It's just going to reverse. So why destroy? Um, look at BioWare. I mean, I'm just saying, like, what what happened to Titanfall? We just focusing on Apex. It's always that situation. It's like we don't have the ability to get the quality, not because the talent ain't there. It's because there is part of it is the pressure from the top that's ruining it. For Activision was just what do you do? What Bobby do? Take all of these studios. I don't care if it's Toys for Bob, High Moon Studios. And instead of them making games like Spyro and Crash and whatever the third Transformers game, they just became support for Call of Duty. Don't you know how disrespectful
Well,
and humiliating?
what's it called? Rockstar has done the same thing with Grand Theft Auto.
But I mean, you get what I'm
And,
saying.
yeah,
It,
it's
it,
because
it,
they put all their eggs in that one basket. I mean, they dropped support for what's it called, for Red Dead Redemption 2, which to me is a more engaging game because I like that story.
but I
For
mean,
and they
but
drop
but but
they
see,
dropped that support to support a clunky remaster of
old
Grand Theft Auto.
old 360 version.
Yep.
How old is this game? I
Right.
refuse to rebuy it. But the point is, it made money because
Right.
people keep spending the money on it, and not only that, people made money off of it, right?
Well, my
And
my my biggest issue is, and it always has been, is they are making money hand over fist. Why don't they break off some of that, put some of that money into other shit? Why?
but we're saying the
And,
same thing. We're saying the same thing.
Activision has been known for a long, 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 long time to buy IPs just for the purpose of sitting on them and letting them die.
Listen,
They they
we're
they,
we're
they
we're saying the
purposely
same
do that.
thing. The reason why Marvel Rivals is destroying Overwatch 2 right now is not because Overwatch 2 wasn't fun. It's because they changed the model. The original Overwatch team, including Jeff Kaplan, who is the creator, and that's his baby, is now gone. You know where they went? Half of them created Marvel Rivals.
Well, and
They,
remember when Overwatch 2 came out, what did we all call it? It's Overwatch 1.5. There was nothing
right.
new and different
He
about it.
didn't want to make an Overwatch 2. He just wanted to expand it and give it a PvE section, which is fine. The game was fun. The game was great the way it was. It didn't need any of it
Right.
and change microtransactions and all that stuff. They wanted to do a games as service so they can try and then and on top of that, destroy the gameplay and how the game functions and how everyone thought about it. Make you pay for characters. We never paid for characters. Now you trying to do that? Where's this battle pass thing come from? You see what I'm saying? And because you did that, now you done ruined it for everyone else. No one wants to. And as much as I love Overwatch, they really took the everything that we loved and was promised. The PVE that was promised, they stripped it down and didn't give it to us. They said, "Oh, we'll give it to you in sections." Then they said, "We're not going to do it at all." All the lies and playing with, and then look at Marvel Rivals. Some of the old Overwatch team is who made this game. That's why it
And and Marvel Rivals is doing something interesting, by the way, which is going to give them even more push. They are going to, starting with season 3 in 2 months or 3 months, they're going to go down to a 2 month season, and they're going to release one new character every month. So it's going to be
that
interesting to watch that
that
change over.
I hear that. That is a tall thing to promise. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. I wouldn't do that, but hey, more power to them
Well,
if that's what they can do.
I was going to say the only way I think they could do that is they already have the licensing and the models for these characters lined up for
That
however
doesn't
long
matter,
it's going to
man,
be.
because on a technical level, you got to balance this every time you put a new character in there. That takes a lot of work. So it's just it will be so demanding on the end of it.
Well, we'll see what
You know,
happens. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, like I said, more power to them. I mean, I'm not gonna say no,
no,
but
because yeah,
I just don't want it to ruin.
that's officially in their press
And they
release. That
start
was
doing
me
it,
just
and they put
talking.
their
So,
foot in their mouth, and they can't keep up. You know what I mean?
but see, because they're being so open about it, I think if that were to start to happen, they would let people. They wouldn't just stop all of a sudden. They would let people know, hey, we
I,
tried something
I
because
get it,
I've
but
been going through their
casual
stuff. Yeah,
people
so
ain't listening to that. They're not even. They don't even know
right.
they even talk to people. They'll just get used to something, and then when they don't get it, then it's a problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But anyways, I don't. I feel like if you guys value the hard copy games, I mean, I don't have a problem with how you guys feel about all that. I mean, technically speaking, I don't buy any digital Nintendo games. They're always going to be hard because you don't get to carry none of that stuff forward. Now they're doing digital cards. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyways, I will say something interesting. Final Fantasy VII Remake was officially announced for Switch 2, so you know it's coming to Xbox just because of that.
Yeah, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
It was a console exclusive. Now it's no
Yep.
longer a console exclusive, so that means it can. And Square has changed their, since they lost half themselves and lost more than half their money. I mean, just put it out there. The Final Fantasy 2 Rebirth didn't make any money on PlayStation 5. But as soon as they launched in January on PC, it made triple the numbers on PS5 in 1 month. So I don't know if that's telling you something, but I think it's telling you something.
Pixel Slopper
So,
is
yeah.
going on to say in the chat, once a company has shares, the investors want their shares. Simple fact, quick bucks or loot boxes for the stock market. And I guess in reference to your recent conversation, it says it means the game isn't on the card.
Right. Well, a lot now the games are mostly not on the card. You just get a license and you download it, right? And on the cards, you know, I won't say card. I mean, on the physical media, I should say, a lot of them are just licensed and you just download it. But in Nintendo's sake, most of it is on the cartridge because the system memory is, well, I guess it's 250 gigs now, but still very little compared to, there's no way you're going to put all of that on a cartridge for Cyberpunk, right? You definitely going to have to use, I mean, you never know. This flash media, they go up to a couple terabytes now, right? So it's possible,
Yeah,
but
but
not.
the prices on some of the prices on that media is not cheap, by the way.
I mean, they're not using brand new hardware though, bro. So I don't think so. I
No,
think
the cards they want you to use for saving your stuff, and all that. Those
well,
cards aren't those cards
you
aren't
either
cheap right
say,
now.
oh, you're talking about expandable memory.
Yeah, those
I
cards.
mean, you won't need that for a while. That's my point. Most of the stuff is either on the actual cartridge and then on the system itself. You got 250
Yep.
gigs. You're not going to install. Well, I won't say that. Most people, unless you're downloading digital only, won't install on the system itself. You're definitely
Yeah.
going to just use the cartridge. But if you don't, then you only deal with 250 gigs. I mean, you're gonna have to put out the money. It's no difference than buying expandable memory for Xbox or something. If I never did, I never bought one because I feel like if I'm gonna play a game, that's the only game's gonna be installed. If not, I just uninstall it. I mean, why do I need it sitting on my hard drive for? I'm never playing it. It's just weird. But that's me. Um, it honestly, they want an NVMe type level of read. That's why
Yeah.
they cartridges faster. And that is what our current generation is. That's where we at right now, right? It's just um $80 to $90 for older games is what's killing me. Like $80 to $90 for any game that's not next gen is killing me. Like you got PS5 and Xbox Series consoles and even PC. Don't ask for $80, $90 unless it's a deluxe or special edition. Like, bro, this is a regular game. And it's an older game. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
What? Your system does not play it no better than the other systems. I tell you that. I don't know. Maybe Carlo feels different, but I just think that's odd and weird. And maybe they're trying to set a new standard and make everybody charge $80 to $90. I don't know.
I've said all along that just because like Grand Theft Auto may get away with it and Nintendo may get away with it one time, I don't see it becoming the standard.
I mean, they might push it that way. I have no idea. I mean, Sony did it with $70. So who knows? I'm not saying I can't. I don't know. I just know
Because not every game is a Grand Theft Auto. Not every game is a Mario Kart.
I realize that.
I'm not paying $100 for, a B-level game. It won't happen. You're gonna price a lot of people out based on that.
If you're in Australia, all games are $100.
But their economy is different than ours.
I know. I'm just saying, bro. Like
you can't say, well, it cost $110 in Canada. They also make by dollar for Canadian dollar, they make more money than we do.
I don't know about that. I don't think that's true.
But
especially not in Australia. It's just that it's the trade. That's all that is.
When you do the conversion, well, Australia is also, remember, Australia is like stuff in Hawaii, stupid expensive. Australia is big, but it's still an island. Okay, it's it's like,
I mean, when it comes down to it, it's really just Japan is their best trade partner and not the U.S. That's really come down to be honest, and that's okay. And I'm not trying to go there. I would just give you an example. I would just make it fun, honestly. But I understand where you're coming from. That's why Game Pass is the best value right now, right?
Yep.
You got Game Pass. Well, you don't have to worry about it. If I'm not saying you never buy any games, right? Because I buy games even if they own Game Pass, just having my collection. But that saves money, so you're not constantly buying games if you have access to playing like South of Midnight or something, and maybe you're not truly invested, but you just want to play. You just want to try something new. And there's lots of stuff in there. So, I mean, that's pretty much, especially for kids. You got kids, you buy something new, they got Game Pass. And then, most of them play these free games anyway. So, honestly, it's like, it's a big saver. So, I just don't know what that means, though. Setting it at $80 and $90 is just weird for a system that's not even pushing next gen. I just find that strange. If Xbox and PlayStation did it, it would be more acceptable. Not that we would like it, but it would be more acceptable. Am I wrong?
No, it's like even with the Switch as a console with the price point, basically they're saying it's the equivalent of a PlayStation 4 Pro. Why are we paying?
I wouldn't even go that far.
Why are we paying for a $700 PlayStation 4 Pro? What the hell?
I don't. It's not that. It's not that.
No, but that's the closest it comes to. It's like,
maybe we're just in a weird situation right now. I don't know. Maybe we just need to watch how it plays out. I don't know. Carlos, he ain't been saying that, but he also has Steam Deck, and Steam Deck is like $100 more than, not even, right? Because you can get them for $400 too, and the Steam Deck can play everything on Steam already, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
For the most part.
I was going to say there are some exceptions. They have to get Steam Deck certified to.
They don't have to.
But it means they run, because some of the Steam games do not necessarily run the greatest on Steam, But.
So what Steam Deck Verify means is that they did everything to ensure that it's optimized for the Steam Deck. Right. However, there are games that are not Steam Deck verified that will play just fine, and All it is you just got to get the buttons mapped, which the community does a good job on giving those drivers out. So it's, but the point I'm making is the Steam Deck came out, I don't know how many years ago, a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, a couple
And
years now.
the Switch 2 is maybe equivalent to that, and you are trying to raise the game prices. Do you see what I mean? It's just
Well,
a strange
and we talked
situation.
about it earlier too, and it said, the whole idea. Well, if you can't afford a Switch 2, hey, we're still going to be selling the original Switch. Like that is the
Well,
stupidest thing
well,
you could say to your.
well. The other thing is, well, I won't say stupid, but I would
No,
say
no,
this.
it's stupid because most people who are interested in a Switch 2, they probably already own a Switch or six. You know, they
Well,
aren't going to want to buy a seventh because it's the
well,
only one they can afford. It's
I, I,
stupid.
I see where you're coming from, but I would say that um, what I find odd is if I don't know if anybody watched the Nintendo Direct
Oh, I
for the
did.
Switch 2.
Yeah, it was.
Well, right before the Switch 2, they had one a week before, right? So they only showed new Switch titles and not Switch 2 titles.
Well, yeah, that was the other issue.
It's just a little weird. Not to say they won't start like completely phase out the Switch right now, but it's just a strange thing. It's and maybe it's just we're in a wild situation right now.
But it's still a weird thing to say that's an option. I mean, to me, that was the same as the option of get a second job. Seriously, it's
That was rough during the PS3 days. Yeah, that was rough.
we know some of you can't afford what we're offering, but hey, you can go, like no, that was the messaging there was crap, absolute crap.
Hmm. I don't know, man. I'm sorry if we ran, guys. Whoever's watching out there, we just having a conversation. I just came in late. Apologies for all that. You know, I want you all to go out and play whatever game you want and enjoy the crap out of it. I recommend everything that came out. Everything is great. Everything plays great. And there's a lot of nuanced games that you might like too. So definitely check those games out for sure, especially if you're a gamer. Oh, by the way, did you guys see that they are definitely starting production on John Wick 5?
I'd
No, I
seen
didn't hear
something
that.
about it. Yes.
Yes, they are definitely, that is a green light. I told you, I said it. When that money is looking good, boy. Oh my God, they're gonna definitely bring that man back. That's why I left it ambiguous. Yo, that's got to be exciting. John Wick 5. Excited?
uh, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I mean,
I
because
mean, the
I mean,
ballerina is coming out, and that look interesting.
I mean, John. That to me, there's the John Wick movies are fun because there's just a lot of action, a lot of headshots that happen. There's no real story there anywhere, but it's a lot of fun to watch anyway.
I mean, it's like watching Expendables. I don't care about story. We just want to see things blow up and a lot of shooting and
Yeah.
fighting. That's all we care about.
Yep.
Who cares about story?
Well,
Some movies just
in the
need to be
case of
fun.
and in the case of the Expendables, it's fun to watch these old guys talk crap to each other. Because
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying we having fun here. We don't
yep.
need story. Some movies are okay without that. You know what I mean? Be like Sinbad. Nobody liked the Notebook. That's not real. If I ever come to you and we're married and you say you don't remember me, you say this how I go. You remember me? Nope. I'm gone. Oh my goodness. I'm like that, man. Sorry. I'm in that mood.
No, you're good. Um, sorry, I've been on my phone because dinner's done,
All right,
and
my bad. Hey,
I know you're
hey,
good. I gotta walk my dog.
hey, go ahead, man. Go ahead and wrap up. I just wanted to holler. Everybody.
Um, so everybody, I will let Paul do his outro. Paul, do your famous outro.
What famous outro? You can find me at X, formerly Twitter, at Cerebral Paul One, Twitch at Cerebral Paul. You can find me on let's see, what shows do I still do? Sometimes you can find me on Tuesdays at Retro Renegades. Thursdays you can find me here on 4GQ TV. Friday, you can find me Wasting with Wise, and I'm also on the editorial staff for. It sounds so funky when I say it that way. For the lordsofgaming.net, where we talk about all things gaming, all platforms, everything. And I think that's about it right now.
No, Paul also has an OnlyFans called
I
Pineapple
know.
Pizza.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
We gonna put
no.
that in the description too.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Look, I see Carlos snickering.
All right, so PK, give him your outro.
So, thanks for everyone coming. Hey, just in 4GQ I think we got an interview for Inayu. Did we get that up?
Oh no, I got to get that up. Thanks for reminding me. Make sure text me so I don't forget.
Yeah, we need to get that up. So you guys need to check out Inayu. It debuted last week on Cartoon Network and Max. It's a new cartoon based on a Nigerian folklore written by a Nigerian writer and illustrator. So we see. I don't know if Carlo watched it, but we watched a couple of episodes and it was really good. The animation was well done by was it Lionsgate Studio, which is an all black owned animation studio. So everything was 100% on point. They were very intentional about the delivery of this product. So definitely check it out. I think it was good and it delivers a punch. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody, Pixel Slapper, thanks for dropping by, being in the chat. We didn't advertise this one, so I appreciate you stopping in. And everybody could find me on 4GQ TV. Just did, like Paul and I talked about earlier, we did so many amazing interviews. PK just did one too. We got Stephen O. Young, Mr. Negative. We got Nico Santucci, who owns Capital Restaurant in Vegas. He was also on Bar Rescue. He's a really good guy. We had James B. Cox, a horror movie writer and producer. No, I didn't drop yet, Pixel. I hope I didn't drop. And we have Julia Marchese. There's just so many people. Check out the channel. James Arnold Taylor, Fred Tatasori is going to be on there. Rob Edwards. And we're hoping to get some more at San Diego Comic-Con as well. So thank you, everybody, for dropping by. I hope you all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.